right, let's start, inshallah. So welcome to the class, especially to Nurain. Welcome to the class. Really good to have you. I hope, Nurain, you have gone through the previous lessons. If not, then please do. Right, it will be necessary for you to go through them. Otherwise, as we move along in the class, you might feel left out a little bit. Wait a second. Let me turn on the lights. Okay. Right. Just so for my understanding, Nuran, do you speak Arabic or you don't?
Yeah, I do speak Arabic.
You do speak Arabic, but it's more Egyptian Arabic, right?
Yeah.
The local Arabic. Okay. Right. So this course is not about speaking Arabic, it's about Quranic Arabic. It's more about the nahu and the sarf and the grammatical structures and all of those things. Right. So we have been doing this since last 3 classes, 2.5 hours each, and we've made some good progress so far. So are you on the WhatsApp group, Nuran?
Yeah, I am.
You are. Great. Excellent. So in the description of the WhatsApp group, you have the links to all the previous lectures. Okay. So you can go there, and if you have not covered them, you can cover them. Right. So first things first, Ramadan is coming, Alhamdulillah, starting next week. So we're gonna have to shift some timings during the Ramadan. So I have 2 questions for you all. The question number 1 is 2.5 hours class okay in Ramadan? What is the consensus here? Do you want to continue 2.5 hours class in Ramadan, or you want to shorten the classes? Any thoughts? I'm okay either way. So I'm happy to teach 2.5 hours and also happy to reduce. Any thoughts? Views? No?
Sorry, I think 2 hours might be better.
2 hours?
That's okay.
Okay. Shall we move to 2 hours then? Right? So we'll have 2 hours of class. Second is timings. So by the time this class finishes, it's already Maghrib, so you'll be working towards your iftar. So are you okay that for next week only, just for the next week, we do, let's say, start at 3 p.m. UK, and afterwards we start in the mornings, let's say, how much, or let's say 10 a.m. Is that okay with everybody? Just for the Ramadan. After Ramadan, we'll move back to the same timings. Any challenges there? Thumbs up if no challenges. Okay, Hansa, no challenge. Aisha, Maisha, Nuran, no challenges. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Cool. Very good. So next class, 3 p.m. Okay. The classes afterwards, 10 a.m. After the Ramadan, we move back to our routine. Okay. After Ramadan, the classes are 5 p.m. Okay, that's the deal. Very good. Excellent. So today we are going to do a few things. Of course, we're going to make progress in our learnings. Last time what we did was the pronouns. We did a few things. I'll just revise that very, very quickly. So we started the study of fragments. And in the study of fragments, we did an Idafah fragment. I hope you all are up to speed with the Idafah fragment, which is kind of an 3-flavored fragment. So the first flavor of Idafah that we did was between normal isms. So 2 isms are normal isms, and they construct this relationship, and this is an off relationship, like the house of Allah, things like that. So in this case, we for example did Baytullahi, right? Things like that, right? So light, no al followed by a jar. That's the formula we did in the Idafah fragment in case of normal isms. Then we Then we looked into the idafa with special mudafs, right? The special mudafs, the idafa with special mudaf, we saw a few words in our notes that do not give you off meaning. So there is no off meaning. So the words like fawqa, tahta, things like that, fawqa, tahta, and baina, for example. So these are the words which are not really giving you the off meaning. So fawqa shajari means above the tree, but you don't really get the off meaning out of it, like the house of Allah in the previous case. So these are special mudafs, and we said these special mudafs would not give you the off meaning. These are two flavors of idafa we did last time. Okay, and we said in the idafa there are two components. Who remembers what are the two components? Two components. Two components of idafa. I have forgotten completely, and I want your help. What are the two components of idafa, girls? Come on, wakey, wakey.
Is it the mudaf and the mudaf ilay?
Mudaf and mudaf ilay. Very good. So which one of this is the word before of?
Mudaf.
Mudaf. Mudaf was the word before of. The part of formula that we did for idafa, we said uh, light, no, al. This part of the formula applies to mudaf. Mudaf has to be light and it doesn't have an al, so like this. So light means effectively no noon sound or end sound. You can't have baytun, you have baythu, right? So it's light and you can't have an al. Mudaf ilay is the word after of. After of, that's how we defined it. And we said that it's always jar. Okay, so the formula for idafa for us was light, no al, followed by jar. Okay, that's what we did, right? And then we started the study of pronouns. In pronouns, we said they are super important in the study of Quran. The pronouns are almost on every line of the Quran. Either you see it or you don't see it, but they are one way or the other operating in almost every line of the Quran. So they are very important. Okay, and when you start to decode the Quran in terms of its wisdom and balagha and of course grammatical structure and how language is operating, the understanding of the pronoun becomes supremely important. And we said there are two categories of these pronouns. One is independent pronouns and the one other is attached pronouns, many times also called dependent pronouns, right? We said independent pronouns are always rafa. The status is always rafa. They are non-flexible. They will never show you their status in a usual ism way. There's no un and in type of sound, right? They are non-flexible isms, but they are normal isms. They're normal isms, but they're just non-flexible. They will have all the four properties: the status, the number, the gender, and the type. Okay? They will have all of those four properties. Why are they called independent? Because they can exist independently. They do not necessarily require any other word to be there for them to be existing. Okay, so they can exist independently. And we did a chart of the independent pronoun in the third person, second person, and the first person. And that chart was this beautiful chart. Okay, so we did all of this. Maybe Nuran, you already know all of that. Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. Right? So my question is, who can say it out loud without looking at it? Any thumbs up on that? Anyone who wants to volunteer this? Because I want to make sure that you own this.
Okay, I can try.
Go ahead. Who's this speaking?
Masha.
Masha. Go ahead. Try, Masha.
Huwa, huma, hum. So huwa, huma, hum. Hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum. Anti, antuma, antunna. And then ana and nahnu.
MashaAllah. That's very, very good. I actually sent you guys a song that my son produced on pronouns. If you listen to it, it will help you memorize. Very good, Maisha. Any other volunteers who wants to do that? Any other? Aisha, Hansa, Nuran. Nuran, you should know all of this, no? You don't?
And I was taught some of this, but this was a while back. So
All right, no problems, no problems. So, Aisha, Hansa, you want to try or shall I move on?
I can try.
Try, go for it.
Huwa, huma, hum. Hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum. Anti, antuma, antunna. Ana, nahnu.
Perfect, mashallah. Very, very good. Cool stuff. Very nice. Once you know this by heart, then things will become super easy for you. Okay? So this is the class where you can come and make mistakes. Mistakes are halal in this class. Okay? You can come up, you can say out loud, make mistakes, do it completely wrong, and then correct it. That's why you are here. Okay? So never shy away from volunteering and saying out loud. We are all here to learn. So there's nothing to worry about. Okay? So nothing wrong if you are struggling, but very well done, mashallah. Okay, so we want to start from this point and take things further from here. Okay, so we did the independent pronouns, and these independent pronouns are all rafa. They are all inflexible, non-flexible, regardless of their status. Of course, their status will always be rafa because they are independent pronoun, and they will always show up like this. Okay, so once you know this chart, things become easy for you. However, we did the concept of attached pronoun, right? Now, attached pronouns or dependent pronouns are little different from these ones. So, few characteristics about the attached pronouns. So, they require another word. Okay? They don't exist independently. So for an attached pronoun to exist, it needs some other word with it. Okay? They are always after. They will not come before the word. They just won't come before the word. And they will always come after the word, and they would require another word to be there for them to exist. They are also inflexible. And there's just one exception, which I will show you today. Okay? They're also inflexible because they would look the same, but they may have multiple flavors. Multiple flavors, okay? Let me explain what I mean by that. So let's go to this pronoun chart and stop me if you are getting confused. I'll try to explain that to you in a way that is easier for you to understand. Okay, so let me insert another row down here below. Okay, now I'm talking about the hua form, and these are all attached. I'm going to color code this. So let's make them gray. Okay, these are attached forms of pronouns that I'm going to show you. Okay, so now this particular pronoun hua has attached form that is hu. This is ha. Okay, now this is a small circular ha. It's not the marbuta type stuff. It doesn't have two dots on it. It's a ha, and it comes in two flavors, hu and he. It can come as hu, or it can come as he. Both would mean the same thing. Okay, but which haraka you use depends on the haraka before it. So, for example, if the haraka before it is going to be a fatha or a dhamma, you use the one with who. If it is a kasra, you would use the one with he. So these are the things we will inshallah do as we progress and things will become easier. So huwa is independent and who and he are dependent form. So usually you would translate these dependent form as his or him in English language. But I don't want to restrict your definition to these translations only. The context will dictate how they need to be translated. Many times the huwa and hiya, both the first, this one, the first person masculine and the first person feminine, they are also used as it in English. There is no it in Arabic. Okay, so they're generally used as it in English as well. Okay, so that's attached form of the pronoun huwa. If you go next, huma, the easier part with huma is the attached form looks exactly the same, huma. But because, as in the previous case, you saw if the haraka before this pronoun is kasra, then huma doesn't work. Huma says, no, 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 with a kasra and right after the dhamma, the sound is not really nice. So for that reason, there is a flavor of huma, which is hima. Right? Huma and hima are two pronouns which are attached versions of the same pronoun huma. So you would see huma as an independent pronoun, meaning they both, and you would see huma as a dependent pronoun. And how would you identify? Well, so the dependent attached pronoun would be coming after the word. Okay, and it will be visible from the context, and you will learn that in a bit, inshallah. Okay, so who is who and he, huma is huma and hima. So same formula on the hum. Okay, so the hum has an attached form which is exactly the same as hum, like this. But because the haraka before it can be kasra, so there's a flavor of it which is him. Okay? And when I give you some examples, things will become more clear. Okay, right now I'm just giving you the theory how these are constructed. So these are all attached. And of course, these are third person masculine, but I'll write it here attached. These are attached forms. Okay. Any questions so far? All good? All good? Stop me if you get confused. Okay. So I will give you now another flavor of the feminine line. This is the feminine line, right? So the feminine line has its own flavors of attached pronouns, and the one with hiya is simple. It's ha. That's the attached form of hiya. Okay, there's no other flavor. Doesn't matter what haraka is before it, it's just ha. Okay, that is what the attached form of hiya is. Hiya is usually translated as she or it. Ha could be as her, for example. So her or hers, for example. So that's ha, or many times it as well. So the huma in case of feminine is the same as the masculine. No change here. Huma and hima. Okay, there's no change. And hunna in case of feminine is also same like hunna. Hunna, and there's another flavor just like before. Hinna. Okay. Hunna and hinna. So I'll color code them too for you. Okay. All right. So let's digest this a little bit. So huwa, huma, hum is the independent, and who, he, huma, hima, hum, him is the attached form. Why do we need the attached form? It will become clear in a few minutes from now. Okay. Hiya, huma, hunna, ha, huma, hima, hunna, hinna. That's the attached form. Okay. These are the first 6.
Ustad, I have a question.
Yes, please.
You know how you said the independent pronouns are all in Rafa form?
Yes.
Are the attached ones
No.
that are the same, or are they in
No.
a different form?
No, that's what I'm going to tell you now. So the attached forms are never in Rafa. Attached forms would always be in Nasab or Jar. Okay, so they would never be Rafa. Only the independent ones are Rafa. So whenever you see an attached form, the context is going to tell you if it is Nasab or Jar. Okay, and I will give you a few tips very soon, and some explaining and some example as well that will help you understand. Okay. Right. Now let's go to these ones. Relatively simple to remember these ones. The next six, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antuna. There's a simple trick that I normally teach to my students. So you see in every pronoun you see here, there's a ant, there's a hamza, nun, and ta, ant. So if I ask you to replace the ant with the letter kaf, this letter kaf. Okay, I want to replace the ant with the letter kaf, and I want to put the haraka on the kaf that was on the ta. Okay, so in case of anta, the haraka on the ta is the fatha, so I'm going to say it's a ka, and that's the attached form of anta. Okay, so if this is the logic we apply to the same one, so you have the antuma. So if you first replace the antuma with the ka, the ant part with the ka, and you put the haraka which is on the ta, which is u, and then you just keep the remaining word like that. Becomes kuma. Okay, that's the logic. They are much easier to remember. So can you guide me of what could be antum? Can you produce antum, anyone?
Would it be kum?
Yeah, kum. Very good. Kum. Let's do the other ones too. Let me insert above. Okay. Anti would be
Ki?
ki. And then you have antuma would be kuma, and antunna would be
Kunna.
kunna. Very good. Excellent. No. Oops. Kunna. Okay. So these are your attached forms here. Color code and color code. Now the last two. Ana. Ana has two attached forms. I told you that there's one exception in terms of the attached pronoun. That's what I mean here. So I said they're also inflexible, but there's one exception. Okay. So all of these attached pronouns are inflexible because they always show up like this. They don't have ending sound or combination like concept. So in case of ana, you have two versions of attached pronouns. One is ni, and the other is just the ya. Okay, so the ni version, ni starts with a nu, so this is noon, so this is used for the nasab. So ni is used for nasab. I'll color code this, and the ya is used for jar. Okay, in this case they are more explicit in showing their status. So if there's ni, you know this is nasab, and if there's ya, you know there's jar, and that's the only exception. Okay, but they are also inflexible because ya will always be ya, but we also know that ya will always be jar. Okay, and ni will always be nasab. Okay, and the nahnu case, in case of nahnu, it's very simple. It takes the first noon of nahnu and attaches an alif to it. Now, that's it. These are your attached pronouns. Okay, attached pronouns. Any questions? Are we good with them? Okay. Yeah. So your job is to make sure that you train your minds so much on these pronouns that you don't have to refer back to the table. You can produce this table entirely with your mind. Okay, that's your objective. If you're able to do that, then inshallah things are easy with pronouns. Okay, pronouns have a very, very, very important role in the study of fi'ls. Okay, the fi'ls cannot exist without pronouns. So while we are learning these pronouns, take some time, put an extra effort in really firming them up. So try to produce the entire independent chart and also the dependent attached pronoun charts completely with your mind. Okay. So inshallah, they are not too difficult. They are total 14 independent pronouns and their corresponding attached pronouns. Okay. Is it okay for me to move forward, or you have any question? Thumbs up if I should move forward. Very good. Excellent. Good. So now that you have done the attached form of the pronoun, I want to take you back to the Idafah. Okay. So Idafah. In Idafah, we have done two flavors, as you know, with normalisms, and we have done with special mudafs. Okay. There's a third flavor of Idafah, and that third flavor is with pronouns. Okay. With pronouns. Now, I want to say, for example, we know how to say house of Muhammad. Okay, so we can very easily produce Baytu Muhammadin. Okay, Baytu Muhammadin. This is house of Muhammad. But if I want to say his house, so I have Baytu as Baytu. That's a mudaf, that's clear. But what is his? Now, his is a pronoun, right? And the nearest pronoun to his, I know, is the singular masculine, huwa. And I know the huwa is always rafa. And because huwa is always rafa, I cannot just attach huwa to baytu. I just can't, because what I need is jar. So I think again, and I know, hey, now there are attached forms of huwa. And those attached forms are who and he. And I know these attached forms are either nasab or jar. Right? So instead of picking up huwa, I'm going to pick up one of the attached forms. So what I'm going to say is baitu, and then I'm going to attach one of the pronouns here. Okay? Ha. Now, which one should I use? Who or he? Now,
Who?
very good. And what's the reason for that?
Because the ta has a dhamma.
Perfect. Very good. So if the previous letter has a kasra, then you use the kasra. Otherwise, you use the dhamma. So you have produced baytuhu, which means his house. Okay? And that is how the construction of idafa looks like with pronouns. I couldn't teach you that until you knew what pronouns are. Okay? You see a lot of presence of this phrase. You see a lot of this in the Quran. Rabbi. Have you seen Rabbi before in the Quran? Yeah. Now, what is happening here? Look closely. So there are two words. This phrase is translated as my master. Some translate as Lord, some translate as Rab, whatever. So I think the translation of Rab is closer to with the word master. Okay, so my master. So you are basically looking at two words here. The one is the Rab, and one is Ana. Ana is an independent pronoun, which means I. Okay, and you want to construct that idafa with these two words. So what you basically do, you have to use the word Rabb, and you have to use it in a light form, right? So you do Rabbu, okay? Rabbu. And then you have to attach a pronoun which is my, which cannot be ana. Ana is I, and ana is always Rafa. So attached form of ana are two forms. We learned that just now. One was ni, and the other was ya. Which one was the Rafa? Oh, sorry, the jar. Which one was the jar? Ni or ya?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ya was the jar. Now, if I attach a ya here, can you read it? Does it sound normal to you? Rabbui. Can you? No, it sounds weird, right? So what happens is when you attach a ya with as an attached pronoun with the word Rabb, it actually consumes the haraka of the word Rabb. So you have no, otherwise the pronunciation is not very nice. It's weird. It's not really going with the flow. Rabbuhi doesn't really make sense to the Arabic tongue. So Rabbi is more smoother pronunciation. So what they do, they remove this haraka and just put the ya, and we know that it was Rabbu and it was ye. So you pronounce it as Rabbi, translated as my master. Okay. Um, I want to say his nation. Anyone remembers what was the word for nation?
Was it qawm?
Yep, qaum. So we're saying qaum, okay? And the word for his in the pronoun world would be closest to who? Hua, okay? So I want to construct an idafa fragment that says his nation, okay? So I will make the word qawmu a mudaf by keeping it light. I'm going to say qawmu. And then what should I attach to it? Is it hua? Is it like this? Qawmu hua? Or something else? What needs to be done? I forgot.
Was it who?
Woohoo.
Yes, it's who. Now, what happens if it is qawmi?
Qawmihi.
Qawmihi. Very good. What happens if we say their nation? Masculine. Their feminine. Their masculine, I'm talking about. Okay? So let's say we have qawmu. So there. Now there, we're talking about which pronoun?
Whom?
Home. We're talking about home. And what is the attached version of home? Remember?
Whom or him?
Home or him. Now, I know whom or him is an attached form, and I know there's a dhamma on the meme, so I'm going to use hum. Qawmuhum. Qawmuhum means their nation, and effectively it's an of relationship. In a bad English, you can say nation of their. Okay, so there is an of somewhere in the middle. Okay, so that is the idafa with the pronoun. Now, one tip I should give you, and you should remember, whenever a pronoun is attached to an ism, it is always jar. Whenever a pronoun is attached to an ism, it will always be jar. Why? Because whenever a pronoun is attached to an ism, it is always in an idafa relationship, and it is always a mudaf ilayh. That is why it will always be jar. Okay, so the question of when we saw the pronoun chart and we saw who and he, and we said that they can be in nasab or jar, how do I answer that? I answer that one of the answers is, hey, look at what it is attached to. If it is attached to an ism, you can mark it jar. Okay, and there are other answers to this as well, which we will inshallah learn as we go. Okay, so far so good. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat that last bit again about the jar?
Yes, so yeah, so whenever a pronoun is attached to an ism, it is always in an idafa relationship, and it is always a mudaf ilay, and mudaf ilay is always jar. So whenever you find a pronoun attached to an ism, you can very confidently assign it a jar status, because this will always be jar. But of course, an attached pronoun can also be in nasab status in some other situations, which we will do later on. But it's a very quick tip to understand when you see a relationship like this, like qawmuhum or qawmihi, for example. All of these pronouns are in jar status because they are mudaf ilays. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, good. So that was the idafa fragment. If you're completely okay with the idafa fragment, I think you do have all of this detail in your notes. So this is the pronoun chart on page number 18. So you have all of that. It's written all here. Okay, so it's also mentioned here nasab and jar and all of those things. So you don't need to make notes of your own, but make sure that you firm them up, please. So as soon you firm them up, the better it would be for you. Now, this is the thing that I want to do with you. So an independent pronoun is always in what status? You might want to take this as notes in your coursework. So independent pronoun is always rafa. Okay? An attached pronoun is nasab in two cases, which I have not taught you yet. And I'm going to skip this part. Okay? The bottom one, an attached pronoun is jar in two cases. I've taught you one of these cases. When it is mudaf ilay. Okay? When it is mudaf ilay. So the others we will do as we progress. Okay? Okay, so this is an exercise that you have. All you have to do is translate the pronoun as best as you can. Okay, so it's not a very difficult exercise. Just look at the pronoun and not the rest of the word. Don't worry about the meaning of the rest of the word. Just translate the pronoun. Like say nahnu is we, kuma could be potentially both of you, either masculine or feminine. Antunna could be all of you, feminine, because it's a second person pronoun. That's what you have to do. If you just work towards translating them, it will help you understand the difference between the attached and the independent one. If you are looking at the word qawmi, for example, this is having an attached pronoun. Which pronoun do you think it has in terms of attached version? Any thoughts? What is the attached pronoun here? Waiting. I want to hear something, even if it's wrong.
Is it like the ana attachment?
It's the ana attachment, right? And it's the word qawmi, and there's a ya attached to it, which is the attached form of ana. So this is an idafa fragment. It means my nation. Okay? So the translation of this pronoun would be my. Right? That's what you have to do. If you want to do the four properties, you can do the four properties. Number 11 is an independent pronoun, and it means them. Or sorry, they. Means they. So this is an independent pronoun. And how do I know it's an independent pronoun? Because there's no other word before it. It's not attached to any word. Okay, so it is existing independently. Okay, so just try to complete this exercise yourself. If you have troubles, please post them on the WhatsApp. I will answer you, inshallah, help you out there. But I really want you to do this. Okay, really want you to do it yourself instead of me doing it. I suggest you do it. And if any troubles, let me know, and inshallah we take things from there. Okay, so Idafa we did. This is also in your notes, as you know. So we've done it previously. There are three forms of Idafa. One is giving you the off translation. The second one with the pronoun that we just did. And then there is special mudaf one. Okay, and after that, I believe there was a special mudaf table. We did it in the last class. Just read through it. If you can keep them in mind, great. All of these are always coming as mudaf. They will never be rafa because they don't make sense as doers. Okay, so they will always be details. Okay, so before cannot be a doer, after cannot be a doer. Okay, so the ones above will always come as the details and never be in rafa status. However, the ones below these four could be rafa, nasab, or jar. Okay. So the idafa with these types of words would not give you an off meaning. Then this is the entire exercise in which we have to identify if this is an idafa or not. So let's do one or two from here and inshallah take things from there. Okay. So now that you have done the pronouns, you should be comfortable doing these things. Rabbukum, do you think it's an idafa? Rabbukum, is it an idafa?
Yes.
Yes, it's an idafa. Very good. Okay. What about here? 49, and this is an interesting one. So inda rasulihi. So what is the relation? What type of word is inda? Any thoughts? Anything comes to your mind? Inda.
Is it one of the special mudafs?
It is. Yes. Very good. It is one of the special mudafs. So now that we know it's a special mudaf, it expects a mudaf ilay. And that mudaf ilay has to be an ism in jar. So what is the mudaf ilay of this word inda? What is the mudaf ilay of this word inda? Any thoughts? How many words are here? This part, how many words are we looking at? What do you think?
Is it two?
All right, which ones?
So Rasul, no,
There's one Rasul, and then
the he.
And then the he. And the he is an attached pronoun, right? So the status of the word Rasul is jar. Everyone sees that, right? So now in the Rasuli is Idafa number 1. Inda is special mudaf and Rasuli is the mudaf ilay. But Rasuli at the same time is also a mudaf. It's also light. It also doesn't have an al. And it has an ism that is attached to it in a jar state. Right? So there are two idafas operating here. One is inda rasuli and then rasulihi. Everyone sees that? They're all chained together. Okay? They're chained together with each other. You can't break them. Right? It's very mathematical. Okay? So this is a idafa relationship, this multi-idafa, this is idafa in chains. Okay? That's the relationship we're looking at. Very good. Let's look at another example. Okay, let's look at number 56. Let's see if you can decode this one. Number 56. Wa'du Rabbi. What's happening here? Wa'du Rabbi. So I'm looking at a word that apparently seems to be light. Okay, it does not have a tanween and it does not have an al, fulfills the criteria of a mudaf. Now, if it is a mudaf, it needs a mudaf ilay. Is there a mudaf ilay here? That's what I'm after. And I need your help. Let's
No.
see if you can. Okay, so there's one opinion that there's no mudaf ilay. Any other thoughts?
The year is added to Rob.
Sorry, Nuran, didn't get you.
Like the year is added, so the year's attachment to Rob. So like.
Okay, so there's a ya. There's one opinion that there's a ya here. That could be an attached pronoun. Okay. Yeah, there's a ya, which is an attached pronoun. That's true. And we said the attached pronoun, when attached to an ism, is always jar. But in an idafa, you don't have long distance relationship. So right after wa'du, you must have a jar. But there is a word between ya and wa'du, which apparently seem to be rabbi. Look, this is what's happening here. Okay. So you have wa'du, and then you have the word Rabb. Okay? You have the word Rabbi, and then you have the ya. Okay? So what's happening here is the wa'du is mudaf, light no al, and it has a mudaf ilay which is Rabbi. Wa'du Rabbi. It means the promise of the master. Okay? Now, then Rabbi is a mudaf and ya is its mudaf ilay. And when you write it together, it consumes its haraka. Okay? So if I change the font, you will see the two dots as well. Second. Like this. Okay? And that's what you see here, right? That's what you see here. So you're looking at an Idafah fragment two times. Idafah fragment two times. One with Wa'adu and Rabbi. And then Rabbi is a mudaf and the ya is a mudaf ilay. Everyone sees that or not? Is that clear or not? Thumbs up, thumbs down, no thumbs. Yes, Nuran, question.
No, sorry, I put it up by accident.
All right, no problem. Okay, so very good. So this is this multi-idafa scenario. Okay, now you need to start to train your brains to look at this Arabic like this and decode this inside information. Okay, so that's two idafas operating here. So wa'adu rabbi and rab and the ya. Okay, right. Let's do another one. So abwahu, number 28. Number 28, abwahu. So abwahu is an idafa relationship because the word abwa is a broken plural. Okay? The word abwa is a broken plural and it is an idafa relationship. It means fathers or doors. Okay? So there can be multiple meanings. And who is the attached pronoun? Okay? His fathers, for example. Okay? So this is attached pronoun and this is the ism. What else? Okay, so I'll let you complete this. Do your best, try it, inshallah, and complete it. You might find few examples where there is no idafa, right? So the whole idea is to train you to detect if you're looking at an idafa or not. So try to do this, and inshallah you will find where your gaps are and we can then fix them in the class. Okay? Very good. This is another exercise that you have. In this particular one, the ism itself is translated. Like, for example, anfusu is translated, but the pronoun is not translated. All you have to do is translate the pronoun by looking at it. So if I look at anfusu, for example, and I look at kum, which independent pronoun kum comes from? Remember that? Antum. And antum meant you or you all, masculine. Okay? So what could potentially kum mean?
Your.
Yourselves. Okay? Anfusukum. Yourselves. Just like that, all of these, try to do it as much as you can. For example, hududahu. Hududahu. You are given the meaning of the word hududa, okay? And then you have to translate who. So let's try it. What could hududahu mean?
So his boundaries.
His boundaries. His boundaries. Very good. Excellent. Get the idea. Okay. So try this, unless you want me to do something here. So wait a second. Any other? Okay. Shall we try number 12? إحداهن. So I'm looking for the translation of hunna. What is hunna? Which pronoun?
Is it just hunna?
It's just hunna, yes, but we know hunna is also attached or it's also independent, right? So in the independent case, it means they, okay, feminine. And in the attached case, it usually means them or their, okay? So in case of this scenario, ahada is one of, and then hunna would be them, okay? One of them, which is feminine, okay? Okay. Are you okay to do these exercises yourself? Give it a shot and then maybe come to the next class or WhatsApp, wherever you want, or you want to spend some time in doing in the class. What would you prefer? Any preference you want to do during the week, or you want to spend some time now? Because I really want you to do this. This is another exercise on page number 25. This is where you have to translate the special mudafs. So you have the special mudafs here, like bighayri, like wara'a, like khalfi, like fawqa, and so on. All of these are special mudafs. All of these exercises are designed to make you practice on what we have done, okay? So the more you do it, the better it is. So it's very easy. It's not difficult. Like fawqa was above, so you can say above it. So it will help you remember those meanings, inshallah, as you do this. Okay. So please try to complete these exercises, but for up to page number 25 during the week in whichever time frame that works for you, inshallah. Okay. So before I start the next topic, this will conclude our Idafah studies. So we are going to do 5 fragments in the study of Ism. The first one was Idafah that we have picked up. There's a second fragment that I want to start now. But before that, I'm going to give you a 5 minutes or 10 minutes break. It's just to go and offer your Maghrib, and I will also offer my Maghrib, inshallah, and then we meet in 10 minutes. Is that all right, everyone? 10 minutes? Or you want more? Okay? Very good. So I'll see you in 10 minutes, 10 past 6, inshallah. Okay? Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
All right, thumbs up if you're back. Thumbs up if you're back. Very good. Okay, got one. Yeah, you can have 5 more minutes. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let's wait for another 5 minutes then. Okay, let's wait for 5 minutes. So at 6:15, inshallah. Okay. All right, once again, thumbs up if you're back. Right, Nuran, you're back. Hansa, you're back. Aisha, Maisha, you are also back, I'm assuming. Okay. All right, let's kick off, inshallah. Okay. So, well done so far. in understanding the ism and the idafa and everything. Inshallah, today my objective is to just teach you this next fragment, and we will inshallah open up the Quran and we'll apply all of that to the Quran, inshallah, and see how it's actually working in practice in the Quran in few ways. Right? So now I'm going to talk about another fragment. That's a different fragment. So Idafa is now completed for now. Okay, so in English, for example, you say blue car, big house, tall boy, smart girl, okay, long train, and things like that, right? So this is a combination of two isms coming together. Blue is an ism, car is an ism, big is an ism, house is an ism. But all of these on the left you see are the adjectives, right? And all of them on the right are the nouns. That's English, okay? So this is a noun-adjective relationship in English language. But in Arabic language, adjectives are part of the definition of isms. So they are within the same bubble of isms, right? So in English, you write these types of fragments where you write an adjective first and then the noun second. In Arabic, it flips the situation. Okay, so you write basically noun first and adjective second. Okay, so it's a flip situation in case of Arabic. So we are going to learn this fragment, how to produce this in Arabic and how it is constructed. It is used quite a lot in the Quran as well. Very, very much, almost on every page you will find one thing or the other about this. So again, this fragment is called Mowsuf and Sifah. Mowsuf and the Sifah. So what is Mowsuf? It has two components in it, just like Idafah. It has two components. The first component is Mowsuf. Let's spell it like this, Mowsuf, M-O-W. Mowsuf, okay? So Mowsuf is the noun that you're describing, okay? And the Sifah is the adjective, basically. Okay, the ism that is used to describe that noun. Okay, so there are a few principles we should learn before I give you the real example. So, so in this particular fragment, you have usually the sifa, the mawsufs are usually, of course, these are nouns. Again, this is all ism-based sentences. Sorry, fragments. Both are isms that are working together. There is no other type of word. So mawsuf is always a noun, and it is always first, and it is only one. Okay, mawsuf is only one. The adjective is also an ism, of course, and it can be multiple. It is always after, and it can be multiple. Okay, doesn't have to be one. Can have more than one. So for example, you could have blue, fast, shiny car, right? So in this case, the mawsuf is the car, which is one thing, one ism that you're describing, but there are three adjectives: blue, fast, shiny. Okay, so you can have this situation in Arabic too. So just remember those things. Also remember that in case of mawsuf and sifa, few things just cannot be mawsuf. So for example, pronouns, pointers, and ism mawsuls, they can never be mawsuf. Okay, you cannot describe he, this, that, the ones who, these types of words. You don't describe them. Okay, so they will never be mawsuf. In case of sifa, you would also see that pronouns and pointers are never sifas. So he, she, it, they, them cannot be a description of anybody. Okay, so they're not sifas. So just keep those things in mind, some small tips. Okay. This fragment, the Mowsuf Sifa fragment, it does tolerate long distance relationship. Tolerate long distance relationship. What that means is long distance. You can have a Mowsuf, let's say Mowsuf, and then you have so words between them, A, B, C, some words between them, and then comes the Sifa. Okay, that's how the structure can be. Okay, you can have a structure where you just have the Mowsuf, and directly after you have the Sifa. So this is the MS structure. Okay, so but you can have Mowsuf, you can have A, B, C in the middle, and then Sifa. That's also possible. Okay, you can have Mowsuf, you can have A, B, C, some words in the middle, then you have Sifa 1 and then Sifa 2. Okay, you can have multiple Sifas. You could have Mowsuf, you could have Sifa 1, Sifa 2, Sifa 3. You could have this structure, right? So this type of fragment supports long distance relationship, meaning Mowsufs and Sifas do not have to be together all the time. Okay, they can be apart. Unlike the Idafah fragment does not tolerate the long distance relationship. So the two isms have to be together. As soon as you see the mudaf, you must always have a mudaf ilayh right after it. There's nothing in the middle. Okay, so these are few principles that you should learn before you dive deeper into this fragment. Now, how to construct Mowsuf Sifa? How do we know that something is Mowsuf Sifa? So there's one simple principle of Mowsuf Sifa, and that is 4 properties must match. Okay, 4 properties must match. So you have the Mowsuf and you have the Sifa, meaning you have the noun and you have the adjective. They must match in all 4 properties. When you are doing a Mowsuf Sifa relationship, they must match in all 4 properties. Okay. For example, we have waladun. I'm just trying to construct an example. Waladun, which is a boy. Okay. Waladun, and then we have a word tawilun. Okay. Tawilun is tall, for example. Okay. Waladun, tawilun. So what we have is the word waladun. If you do 4 properties of the word waladun, that will be rafa, singular, masculine, common. Okay. If you're not with me, stop me. Then you go and do 4 properties of tawilun. That's going to be rafa, singular, masculine, rafa, singular, masculine, common. Right, so they both would match in 4 properties. And you know the first one is Mowsuf and the second one is Sifa. Okay, so that's what it is. So when you see 2 isms matching in 4 properties, it is likely, I say again, it is likely that they are Mowsuf Sifa. Sometimes you do have in one sentence or one line multiple isms matching 4 properties, but not always they would be Mowsuf Sifa. Sometimes context will tell you if this is Mowsuf Sifa or not. But when I say they support long distance relationship, it does not mean they are going to be after 15 ayahs. It's not going to be like that. So you find one word and then after 10 ayahs you find the Sifa. It's usually not like that. It's usually after a few words, 1 word, 2 or 3 words. After that you will find the Sifa, right? So inshallah, with practice and experience, you will be able to understand it better. And we will do some Quranic practice today on this particular topic. I want to take you to your notes because there are some good examples in your notes that we should do. So on your page 26, you have Mowsuf Sifa. Describe the way I've explained that to you. So there's a Mowsuf and then there's a Sifa. Mowsuf is only one and it's the first ism. Sifah can be many and must have the same 4 properties as the Mowsuf. Sifah is always after the Mowsuf. It can be more than one. It does tolerate the long distance relationship, right? A few notes. Mawsuf is never pronoun, pointer, or ism mawsul. Sifa is never pronoun, pointer, or pronoun, proper name, pronoun, or pointer. Okay, so sifa, for example, Muhammad cannot be a sifa of anyone. Ali cannot be a sifa of anyone. So proper names are usually not sifas. London cannot be sifa of anybody, right? So these types of words are not sifas. Just be mindful of the broken plural and the feminine plurals, because of course broken plural can be human, non-human, and then there's singular feminine. Sometimes it's reality and all of those things that can confuse people. For example, there's a good example here. The small books. The small books. If you do 4 properties of the word al-kutubu, kutubu is the broken plural of a word book. It means books. Because it's the broken plural, it would be rafa, singular, feminine, proper. Okay, it's a non-human broken plural. Rafa, singular, feminine, proper. If you're not understanding why it is singular, feminine, go back, revise the broken plural lesson. We have that recorded. Okay. Then because of the fact it's broken plural, it got the singular feminine, although it looks like a pretty standard masculinism, right? Then you have saghiratu. A saghiratu is the small. Okay. Now, if you do 4 properties of a saghiratu, that is going to be rafa, singular, feminine, proper again. But why is this feminine? It's feminine because it has this hijab, the tamar buddha in the end. Right? So they would both match in the 4 properties. So the small books. Okay. So you see in English, the noun that is described comes after, but the word al-kutubu in Arabic comes before. Okay, so it's a flip situation. The small would come before, and a saghiratu sifa is going to come after. So beautiful bags. So haqa'ibu jamilatun. Now haqa'ibu is a broken plural of the bags. So because it's a broken plural, it's going to be rafa, singular, feminine, common. Okay, and jamilatun is just a standard feminine ism like muslimatun. Okay, so rafa, singular, feminine, common. So they both match in 4 properties. Beautiful bags. Okay, so just be mindful of broken plurals and all of that. Now let's try to see this. Okay. We want to find out if these isms are mawsuf sifas or not. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to do the 4 properties. Now this will really help you revise your 4 property concept, and will bring it to you will basically start to understand why it's needed to do the 4 properties. Because if you don't do the 4 properties, you can't really do these types of fragments. And after this exercise, inshallah, I will open up the Quran and we'll do few things in the Quran that will bring everything together, from Idafah and the Mawsuf Sifah and the 4 properties and everything, inshallah. Okay. So we are looking at the word qawlan, and I want somebody to give me the 4 properties of the word qawlan. Volunteer. Anyone? No, no one. There's so uncomfortable silence in the class. Any volunteers? Do you want me to pick?
So nasab,
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Nasab,
singular,
singular,
masculine,
masculine, type singular, masculine, and common, right? So nasab singular, masculine, common. And if you look at the word saqilan, you would have nasab singular, masculine, common. So they both match in 4 properties. So qawlan, saqilan, a heavy word. It's a mawsuf sifa relationship. Okay. Now, if you look at at-tammatul kubra, okay. Now let's do the 4 properties of al-kubra. So let's try that. Anyone? 4 properties of al-kubra. What type of word is al-kubra? Is it fully flexible, partly flexible, non-flexible? Fully, partly, non. Waiting. Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you.
Yes. Like
Okay.
partly flexible.
No, it's non-flexible ism. So if you're a little bit rusty, guys, on the partly flexible, non-flexible, please go back, revise it from the lectures that are recorded. It will help you. So al-kubra is a non-flexible. It's like the word Musa or Isa. It will never show you the status. There is no ending sound, no ending combination, because it ends with a alif maksura. Okay, so when you end with alif maksura, you are non-flexible. Okay, so so it's a non-flexible ism, so it's not really telling you the status. But you can find out maybe other things. Is it singular? Is it plural? Or is it dual? So you can identify it as a singular. You can identify it as a feminine because it's falling in the fake feminine category. If you remember, we did the gender and we said the isms ending with alif maksura with 4 or more letters before them. When it's with 3 letters before them, and it's usually the 4th letter, that it's a feminine case. It's a fake feminine case, and it's proper. Then you look at at-tammatu. In case of at-tammatu, what you're looking at is basically an ism in Rafa. It is also singular, it is also feminine, and it is also proper. Okay, now because you do not know the status of al-kubra, you are going to look at the context it is being used in. Now, in this particular case, the word before it actually indicates to you that that word is potentially a mawsuf. So in Arabic language, remember this statement that if it could be, it is. Okay? If it could potentially be Rafa to match the 4 properties, then you're going to mark it Rafa. Okay, and these are going to be a Mowsuf Sifa words, the greatest calamity. Okay, so sometimes you don't have the clarity on the status, and you have to see the context to understand what the status is. And in this case, the word at-tammatu gave you that insight. Okay, because otherwise there's no relationship between any word that you can establish, and it wouldn't make sense. Okay. I'll do another example. The ones I'm leaving, please try to do yourself. I'm going to do this example. Bala'un min rabbikum azimun. Okay. So I'm going to do the 4 properties of this word, bala'un. So who can do 4 properties of this word? I'm not going to do it. One of you should do it. Okay. Who's going to do it? 4 properties of bala'un. Come on. I know you know it.
So is it in Rafa status?
Yes, thank you. Rafa,
Singular,
singular,
masculine,
masculine,
and is it common?
Common. Very good. Excellent. Now we have found this ism, and I'm looking for the sifa of this ism. When I go forward, I find the word min. Now, min is not an ism. You don't know it yet because I have not taught you that. Okay. So I'm telling you now, min is not an ism. So I will leave min for now. Okay. And when we learn min, then we'll talk about min. Then I move forward, I find the word Rabbi. When I find the word Rabbi, what is the status of the word Rabbi? The status of the word Rabbi. Is it Rafa? Is it Nasab? Is it Jar?
Jar.
Jar. Now, because it is Jar, is there any possibility it can be a Sifa of Bala'un? No, because it won't match in four properties, right? The four properties must match. So I'm going to leave the word Rabbi, and I'm not going to touch the word Kum, because I know Kum is attached to the word Rabbi, and it is Jar, because it's an Idafah relationship, right? Everyone sees that? If you don't see that, raise your hand, ask question, I'll explain. So the min cannot be anything in terms of sifa. Rabbi cannot be sifa. The kum cannot be sifa. And I move forward and I find the word azimun. Okay. Now this azimun looks like a potential sifa. So I need to do four properties to see it matches or not. Right. So azimun looks to me, it's rafa. It looks like a singular. It looks like a masculine. And it is common, right? So if you do four properties of azimun, you find a match with bala'un, right? So when you say a greatest test, so the bala'un is the test and a greatest is the azim. So you have a Mowsuf Sifah relationship, and this is a case when you have a long distance relationship. So the bala'un all the way to azimun. You have additional words in the middle. Okay, this is a simple construct. So this is Mowsuf. Then you have A, B, C, three words in the middle, and then you have the Sifah. Okay. Any questions? All clear? Thumbs up if all clear. Good. Okay. Now look at this example. Sururum marfu'atun. Okay. Sururum marfu'atun. Now, sururum is beds. It's beds. Okay. Now, when you look at beds, you are looking at a word that looks like a perfect masculine singular ism, like Muslimun. You are easily able to, you can easily say sururun, sururan, sururin, right? But it looks very, very singular, like Muslimun. But the meaning provided to you here is plural, so it's a broken plural. So when you're looking at a broken plural, you're asking yourself, hey, human, non-human, and when you see it's human, it's a non-human, you know that it's singular feminine. Okay, so you're going to say it's Rafa, it's going to be singular, it's going to be feminine, and it's going to be common. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Now you move forward and you find marfu'atun. This marfu'atun is Rafa, it's singular, it's feminine because of the hijab, the ta marbuta, and it's common. So they both match in four properties, right? But apparently, if you look at it, if you're just looking at it without doing those four properties more closely, sururun looks a lot like a masculine ism, whereas marfu'atun looks a lot like a feminine ism. It's like muslimun versus muslimatun. So if you just look at it from a distance, you will say, no, they're not Mowsuf Sifa because they don't match in whatever gender. But when you look closely, they actually do. They are. Mowsuf Sifah, right? So when you're doing Mowsuf Sifah story, Mowsuf Sifah decoding, you need to be aware of these things, okay? Let me take another example. Okay. Let's do Narun Hamiyatun. Anyone can give me 4 properties of the word Narun? 4 properties of Narun.
Is it Rafa,
Mm-hmm.
singular,
Mm-hmm.
feminine,
Okay.
and common?
Common. And why did you mark it feminine?
Because the Arab said so.
Because the Arab said so. Very good. Absolutely. Because the Arab said so. There is no logical reason to mark these feminines. We have a list of words which are always marked feminine. Okay. So Narun is feminine. And if you didn't know that list, if you didn't know that story that we read in the class, you would probably mark it masculine because it looks very masculine like Muslimun. But then you look at Hamiyatun, which is looking very much feminine with the ta marbuta on it. It is rafa, it is singular, it is feminine, it is common. Okay? So they match in 4 properties. Okay? You get the idea of Mowsuf Sifa? Can I take you to Quran and just show you some real Quran examples? Good? Very good. Just complete these ones in your time when you have time, inshallah. I don't know if you have exercises. No, not for this one. Okay. So let's go to the Quran and let's apply the concept of Idafah, Mowsuf, Sifa a little bit on the Quranic ayah. The whole objective of learning this is to apply it to the Quran, inshallah. And I'm going to take the most famous surah that we all recite every single day. Okay? Surah Fatiha. Okay, so we are going to focus on the first 3 ayahs only. Okay, so this is our focus. And I want full attention because this is exciting stuff. I hope you will find it, inshallah, amazing. The beauty of the language of the Quran. Okay. Let me change the font to something that is more comfortable. Okay. Because there's lots of scribbling coming, inshallah. Okay. All right, so that's what we are doing now. Picking up a pen and doing it. Oh. Okay. Now, I need your help and I would want you to interact. Okay? Because that's the best way to understand this, decode this, and really get the grip of it. Okay? So I'm looking at Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Okay? So what you cannot do right now, I will tell you. Okay? So right now you have the word Alhamdu. Okay? And you know this word, and you can do this 4 properties of this word. You can easily say Rafa, singular, masculine, and proper. You shouldn't have any problems doing that. Okay? Lillahi. Lillahi is something that you have not yet done, but this is basically a word that is a combination of a harf lam and the word Allah. Okay? And the word Allah. It's a combination of these 2 things together, and the status of the word Allah is jar. Okay? So this is the word Allah. Okay? So lillahi is the word Allah. Now when I look at the word Allah, it is in jar status. Okay? So let's mark it jar. Going forward, I find another word which is Rabbi. Okay? And I want 4 properties of the word let me just do the 4 properties of the word Allah first. The word Allah is jar, it's singular, it's masculine, it's proper. Everyone okay with these 4 properties? Thumbs up if you are. It should be pretty straightforward. Okay? Very good. Now, pay close attention. I want a volunteer to give me 4 properties of the word Rabbi. Anyone? Go ahead. Don't worry about being wrong. It's fine. Properties of the word Rabbi. Don't be I mean, come on. You can give 4 properties. Don't be afraid. Build up that confidence. Come on. Share what you think.
Is it like Rafa?
No, and it's not Rafa.
Okay.
So, Aisha, Maisha, any one of you? You want to try?
Is it jar?
Yes, thanks. It is jar. Is it singular, dual, or plural?
Yeah, singular,
It
masculine,
is singular, masculine, and common or proper?
proper.
Proper, why proper?
I'm not too sure because Rob is like the Lord.
Yeah, of course, the Lord, but we need to know where the comes from. So right now, you're looking at the word Rabbi. Your answer is correct, but there's more to your answer, okay? So that's where I want to take you. So if you just look at this word Rabbi, forget about Al-Alamina and everything around it. Imagine this is the only word that you're looking at. What would you mark as type? Is it proper or common?
Common.
Common. Because to make something proper, you need an al, or it needs to be a proper name, or it needs to be a pointer, or it needs to be a pronoun. But it's just a normal ism. Rab, it means master, a master. Okay? Or a lord, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So as standard, if you just look at this word in isolation, you will mark it as common. Are you clear with that, Maisha, Aisha, Noran, Hansa?
Yes.
All
Yes.
clear? Good. Very good. If you don't understand this point, then you'll struggle what I'm going to tell you now, okay? So we have established that the word Allahi has 4 properties and the word Rabbi has 4 properties, but they don't match. Okay? They don't match. So we go to the next word. So from the word Rabbi, we go to the word second. Undo. Yep. So we go to the word Al-Alamina. Okay. Now, when I'm looking at the word Rabbi, is this a heavy ism or a light ism?
Light.
It is light. And there are just 4 reasons when ism is light. Okay? When you're calling somebody, is this where you're calling somebody? Is it Ya Muhammad type of word?
No.
No, it's not calling somebody. Is it categorical negation if you're negating somebody or something? No, it's just a standard ism, right? Is it partly flexible? No, nothing suggests it's partly flexible. It's not among any names. It's just a word, means master. It's just a standard ism, okay? And the 4th reason why an ism is light is when it is mudaf. Yeah? So you have an ism which is light, it does not have an al. So if an ism is light and it does not have an al and it's potentially mudaf, what are you expecting after it? A mudaf ilay, right? And a mudaf ilay has to be what status?
Jar.
Jar. Aisha, Maisha, Nuran with me on this? Are you following?
Yes.
Good. I have to ask you again and again because I don't get the feedback, right? So I have to ask you if you're with me. Otherwise, I will keep on going, and I will lose you guys. Okay. So now, because the word Rabbi is expecting a mudaf ilay, we find the word al-alamina. Now, al-alamina, can we do 4 properties of al-alamina? Help me out here. 4 properties of al-alamina.
So it could be nasab or jar, but if
Mm-hmm.
then it's probably jar.
Very good. Very good. Because you're expecting a mudaf ilay, so
Yeah.
you're going to remove the nasab thing. Now you know for sure the context is telling you it's jar. Okay. Right. Then
It's like 3 plus.
it's plural,
And it's masculine.
masculine, common or proper.
Proper.
Very good. Why is this proper? Because you have
Al.
an al. Okay. Because you have an al. Can I pick this? Yeah. Okay. That's why it's proper. Now, remember, when we were studying the type, we said one of the last criteria of an ism being proper was if the word after of is proper, it makes the word before of proper. Remember that? If the word after of is proper, it makes the word before of proper. That means if mudaf ilay is proper, it makes the mudaf proper. And when you said the Rabbi is proper, it is not because we know the meaning of this ayah as the master. It's because its mudaf ilay is proper. Okay? Because the mudaf ilay is proper, it is going to make this word Rabbi proper. Yeah? With me on this? Everybody, thumbs up. Good. Now, as soon as you find the word Rabbi is proper, what happened here? The 4 properties matched. The 4 properties matched. What that means is that the word Rabb is a Sifah of the word Allah. Okay? The word Rabb is the Sifah of the word Allah. So you are now saying, Alhamdulillah, all praise and gratitude belong to Allah, and now you're defining the Sifah, the characteristics of Allah. Okay, it is still connected to the question of why Rabbi is jar. Because a default status of an ism is Rafa. Why Allah has used the word Rabbi instead of Rabbul Alameen? Why Rabbil Alameen? And the answer to that question is because the word Rabbi is a sifa of the word Allah, and the word Allah, Allah is in jar status. So far, so good? Thumbs up. Very good. Remember, I'm going to ask you guys to do all of this by yourselves, okay? Just make sure you understand what I'm saying, okay? Ask questions if there's any confusion, okay? So, right, so now what we have established is there is a relationship between the word Allah and the word Rabb. Okay, now there's another point. Because the word Rabb and the Alameen are connected, this is one big bucket. They are connected together. You can't break them. Rabbul Alameen goes together because they're in an Idafah relationship. So while the Rabbi is the Sifah of the word Allah, you still cannot break it out from Al-Alameen. Al-Alameen is going to say, where are you taking the Rabb? Because I'm with the Rabb, so I'm going to go with. So you put the entire box, the Rabbil Alameen, as a Sifah of the word Allah. Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Okay? So this entire box becomes the Sifah of the word Allah. Okay? Is it too much brain juice, or is it okay? Okay, good. Right. Now, moving forward. Now, we go to the next word. And we find the word Ar-Rahmani. Okay? The word Ar-Rahmani. What are the 4 properties of the word Ar-Rahmani? Please help me out here. 4 properties of the word Ar-Rahmani. Status? Rafa, Nasab, or Jar?
Rafa.
Why?
I was just thinking it was like Muslimani.
Okay, so I mean that's great confusions, because you're thinking of it as a dual, like Muslimani.
Mm-hmm.
So that Muslimani is Rafa because you have the word Muslim intact into it, and only the ending is added to it, right? But in this case, if you remove the ani ending, then you break the word. This ani is not the ending, this is the part of the word. It's like the word sultan, or it's like the word Nu'man, right? So these words these anis are not endings of these words. These are part of this word, okay? Where in case of the Muslimani, in this case, the word Muslim is still a different word, and you actually added an ending to it, which is the ending combination, right? So when you're having an ending as an additional thing to the word, then you consider it as an ending combination. If it is part of the word spelling, then it's just part of the word. It's not the ani ending. Clear?
Yeah, that makes sense. So is it jar then?
Then it's jar. Very good. Very good. So it's going to be jar, and it's singular, it's masculine, and proper. What happened here? Does it match?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on? So this is Rabbul Alameen. This one is Sifa number 1, and Ar-Rahmani is Sifa number 2. You're still describing the word Allah. Okay? Alhamdulillahi, and all praise and gratitude belong to Allah. Rabbul Alameen, Sifa number 1, the master of the worlds. Ar-Rahman, the most merciful or gracious. Okay? Then you move on to the next word. Here. Okay? And you find the word Ar-Rahimi, and you realize that this is also jar. Why is it jar when the default status of an ism is Rafa? You should be questioning it every single time you find an ism in jar. Question it. Why is it jar? Because the default form of an ism has to be Rafa. Okay? Now, when you start to question it, you will say, all right, let's do the 4 properties. You'll find it's jar, it's singular, it's masculine, and it's proper. Right? And when you find that, you'll say, hey, this matches again. Right? So it's another sifa of the word Allah. So this is going to be your sifa number 3. Okay? You're still describing the word Allah. You see the power of the fragments? And we're just talking about 2 fragments, Idafah and Mowsuf Sifah. That's it. That's what we are talking about. Okay. There's so many others we have not yet learned yet. So just the power of two fragments. And you see how this language is so connected by these two fragments. The ayah, the surah that you read every single day, 17 times at least, if you just do the fard. Okay. And the first time we see, okay, how this is actually connected. Okay. How the structure of the language is. It's beautiful. Okay. So this is Sifah number 3. Just like that, you move forward and say, hey, I'm now going to look at the other word, the Maliki. And now what question am I asking myself? As soon as I look at Maliki, I find it in jar again, right? And when I look at it in jar, what am I questioning? Why is it not Rafa? What is making it jar? The default should be Rafa. So I start to look around in the context, and I'll say, okay, let's do 4 properties. Jar, singular, masculine, common. Okay. This is common. Now this isn't matching with the 4 properties of the word Allahi. Do you agree with me, everyone? This isn't matching with the 4 properties of the word Allahi. Have I done the 4 properties correctly? Jar, singular, masculine, common. Thumbs up if I have done it correctly.
Is it meant to be proper?
I don't know. We'll find out. Do you think so? And if you think it's meant to be proper, then how it is proper? That's what I want you to understand. Okay? So far, if I just look at the word Maliki, it looks to me as a common ism. There's nothing that dictates it's proper. It doesn't have an al, it's not a pronoun, it's not a pointer, it's not ism mawsul. Just looks like a normal ism. Okay? But one thing I notice about this ism, it is light. Right? This ism is light. And when the ism is light, I'm asking myself same 4 questions. Is it calling somebody? No. Is it categorical negation? No. Is it partly flexible ism? No, doesn't fit the criteria. So this is a potential mudaf. Okay? So when it's a potential mudaf, it needs right after a mudaf ilay. And that mudaf ilay needs to be jar. So let's see if it has an ism right after it, which is a mudaf ilay. So I move forward to the word yomi. Is yomi in jar? Do you think the yomi is mudaf ilay for the word maliki? Give me thumbs up if you believe yomi is the mudaf ilay of the word maliki. No thumbs up means you don't think it's the mudaf ilay of the word maliki. Okay. So if we do the properties of the word yomi, I'm looking at yomi and it's a kasra, so it's certainly jar. Okay. So when I look at the word yomi, I see the word in jar. And when I look at maliki, I see it as light, no al. So I'm looking at light, no al, and I'm looking at followed by jar. Okay? Isn't it? How is this formula not applied? It's very clear. I mean, to me, it's very clear. It looks like an Idafah fragment. So from this point to this point, this is all Idafah. Maliki Yawmi. Owner of day. Okay? Owner of day. Yawm is day. Okay? Now, but at the same time, I mean, before I move forward, I need thumbs up from you guys. Are you with me so far? Do you understand the Maliki Yomi part? Cool. Very good. Now I'm at the Yomi part. I'm looking at the Yomi. When I look at Yomi, I have an answer why it is jar, because I know it's a mudaf ilay, right? But I do not have an answer why it is light. The default of an ism is heavy. It should be yawmin. Why it is made light? So I'm going to ask the same 4 questions. Okay. Is it calling somebody? No. Is it categorical negation? No. Is it partly flexible? No. Could it be mudaf? Well, let's find out. So is it light? No al. So that's what I'm checking. Light. It is light. Does it have an al? Yeah, it does not have an al. So light no al applies here. So this is potential mudaf. If it is potential mudaf, the next word should be mudaf ilay, right? So I go forward and say, okay, let's find out what's the next word is. So ad-dini. Is ad-dini jar? Everyone.
Yes.
Yes, it is jar. Very good. So ad-dini is jar. So yawmi and ad-dini are in mudaf ilay relationship. It's an idafa relationship. Okay, so if I tell you ad-dini is the judgment, because it's ad-dini, there's an al with it, right? It's proper. It's proper. It's the judgment. And I know if the word after of is proper, the word before of becomes proper. So if ad-dini is proper, will yomi become proper or not? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Will yomi become proper? Cool. Now that we know yomi is proper, what's going to happen to maliki?
It's proper as well.
It becomes proper. And when it becomes proper, what happens? Match. Right? The 4 properties match. You see the structure of the language? So what you're talking about is basically this Maliki Yomi is connected. Yomi ad-dini is connected. So this is one big box, right? Whereas the Sifah is actually Maliki, but because they're all connected, you're going to say Maliki Yawmiddin is the Sifah number 4. Yeah? With me on this, everyone? Here? I want you to really, truly realize the beauty of the language, how it is structured, the eloquence of the language, the power of just 2 fragments coming together, the Idafah and Mowsuf Sifah. And in the 4th class, you are doing this, mashallah. Okay? That's an amazing, amazing progress. If you have understood what I've explained here, it's an amazing progress. Okay? So be proud of, inshallah, what you have done. Be thankful of what you have achieved with this. Okay? Very good. Any questions on this? Anything that is not clear? Good. Okay. So that is how you see one application of Idafa and Mowsuf Sifa in the Surah Fatiha. You have some application, of course, here as well. It will become easy for you if you just look at Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So this word, Bismi, usually it is translated as with the name. So this was actually the letter Ba and the word Ism. Okay? Ism means name. So when they're combined together, this is dropped. Okay? So it becomes Bismi. Okay? Now, why it is jar, we'll do that later on, inshallah. So what I am looking at now is the word Ism, and I'm looking at it and I see that this is light. It is light and it does not have an al. Okay? If it is a potential mudaf, then I'm looking for the word in mudaf ilay that has to be jar. So I find the word Allahi in jar status, right? So this is jar. It has a kasra in the end. So Bismillahi is an idafa. Okay, where ismi is mudaf and the word Allahi is mudaf ilay. And it's an off relationship because it's an idafa between two standard isms. So name of Allah. Okay, the B just means with. Because the word Allah is proper, the ism becomes proper. So this name would be the name. Okay, that's how you get with the name of Allah. You don't say with name of Allah, with the name of Allah, or with a name of Allah is not valid. Okay, so the word ismi is proper because of the word Allahi. Okay, then you move forward and you find the same Ar-Rahmani and you realize that this is jar. Okay, when you realize this is jar, you question yourself, you question your existence. Why is this jar? And then you find out, okay, so the word Allahi is jar, it's singular, masculine, proper. This one is also jar, singular, masculine, proper. So the four properties match and they are Mowsuf and Sifah. Okay, so Ar-Rahmani is your Sifah number 1. Same story here. Move forward. You find Ar-Rahimi. You do 4 properties of Ar-Rahimi. It's jar, singular, masculine, proper. And you will see that they match in 4 properties too. So this is your Sifah number 2. Okay. Look at what you have done, mashallah. Okay. You shouldn't be seeing Surah Fatiha same ever again. When you're in your salah, I mean, the first thing it did to me, first time I learned all of this, when I was in salah and I was saying Alhamdulillah, kind of thinking, oh, is this Rafa Nasab or Jar? Is this an Idafah relationship? Is this Mowsuf and Sifah? It has an impact on your salah in the early days when you learn all of this. My advice to you, open up the Quran, try to achieve the same scribbling yourself again. Okay, it's easier when Ustad is doing it and you're listening. That's great, you understand it now. Okay, but when you do it yourself, you will see that you are challenged a little bit more because your objective is to bring everything you have learned so far together. You have 4 properties, you have idafas, you have mawsuf and sifas, and you have pronouns, I don't know what not. It needs to come together. It needs to become second nature. Okay? So try your best to do this yourself. If you want, I can give you a worksheet with this ayah on it, the blank page worksheet, if you want. And then you can print it out and just scribble around of trying to decode this exact same exercise. Okay, so even if you do it after learning in the class, that is going to make you feel much better. It is the best way of revising what you have done so far. Okay, do you want me to give you a worksheet of these ayahs from Bismillah all the way to Maliki Yawmiddin? Do you want me to do that, or you just will do it yourself? Let me know, and I will throw them on WhatsApp, inshallah. Okay, I'll share the sheet with you anyway, and try to achieve this yourself, inshallah. Okay. Any questions? No questions. All right, very good. So at this point, we have completed the Idafah and we have completed the Mowsuf Sifah. Okay. If you have struggled with anything, from 4 properties to light versus heavy to flexibility. Please use the next week to just revise those concepts. Sometimes you have to watch the lecture 2-3 times, even if you have to do 2x speed, 3x speed, where I'm speaking like crazy, but it will really help you. Okay, so when I was the student, I was studying with Ustad Noman Ali Khan, and I used to listen to his lecture 2-3 times sometimes. Okay? Because things take time to just get settled in your mind sometimes, and especially when Ustad is doing it, looks easy. It's like mathematics, right? So when somebody's solving, you understand everything, but when you have to do it, you can find it challenging. Okay, so feel free to please look at those videos, firm up your basics, because as we move along, inshallah, in the next class, I will teach you at least, my objective is to at least 2 more fragments in the next class. We have total 5 to do. 2 of them we have done. There are 3 remaining, and after that there's 1 more topic in ism, and then we're done with isms. For now. Of course, ism is a very big study. For now, we will be done with isms after 5 fragments, and we'll move on to the fi'l study. Okay? So any questions, shoot them on WhatsApp. I don't want to start a new topic right now because it's going to be hanging in the middle. Okay, so I'll start the fresh topic, inshallah, in the next class. Is that all right with everybody? Yeah? Very good. Amazing. So just remember, next class is at 3 p.m., inshallah. And after that, the class will be at around 10 a.m. That's what we, I think, agreed, right? At 10 a.m. for Ramadan period. Then we'll move back. Yeah. 3 p.m. next week and 10 a.m. the week after, and so on until Ramadan ends. And then after Ramadan, we'll come back to 5 p.m. Okay? So Jazakumullahu khairun. Thank you very much for joining, and may Allah bless you all. And inshallah, I will see you on the next Saturday at 3 p.m. All right? And I'll share the recording with you very soon. Okay? Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.